All right, guys, today we're moving Rocky to be weaned. We're also going to weigh him and measure him. So come along while we capture the wild beast that is Rocky. Hey, buddy, your life's never going to be the same. You're leaving your mama. So he is 8 months old now, and we thought we would take some time and do this video and show some like never before seen footage of him when he was born. He was pretty much a miracle case. We did not think he was going to survive at all based on how small he was when he was born. Here's his mama right here. She's gonna be so sad, but honestly, it's time. He needs weaned. He's going to be go and be best friends with Miss Roxanne, who is my new donkey, because I think they have like the same sort of energy. We're gonna get mugged now because it's feeding time. So let's take him and we're going to take him out here and we're going to weigh and measure him. We will not film us dragging him out.
He's like, I do not want to move.
He's like, no, last time I went out, my feet got done. I don't need y'all's help. It's dinner time, so why wouldn't they be? I just painted my nails and now it's all messed up. Thanks, Rocky. Smudged it. Donkeys are back in. Rocky wants back in. So Rocky is kind of a little bit of a butt munch. He doesn't want to do anything anybody else wants him to do. He only wants to do what he wants to do. For reference, he was only about 10 pounds when he was born, and he weighed he weighed 10 pounds and he was about 16 inches tall to his back. Smallest donkey I've ever seen ever when he was born. He was probably premature. We had the vet out within like 30 to 40 minutes of his birth and did a full exam, and he ended up being fine. But Josh and I literally stayed in the barn with him for 56 hours straight to make sure he was able to get up, because that was the biggest thing with him. He couldn't stand up on his own to nurse, and his mom was really concerned about the fact that he couldn't get up. So she would paw at him to try to get him to stand up, and we were really worried that she was going to unalive him because he was so small and fragile. So Josh and I stayed in the barn with him, picked him up, put him on his feet, let him nurse. He would go and sleep, and every time he would get up from sleeping, he would get stronger and stronger until about 3 days in, he was standing on his own. Now he stayed in a stall for almost 2 months, just until he got big enough to go outside, because he was just so tiny. And now he's this ugly yellow color. We are hoping to give him a bath in the near future, but he's going to we need to wean him. I need to start training him and working with him more with the halter and standing tied and stuff before we just like cold turkey go into giving him a bath, because we don't want to scare him of it either. We want him to think it's something like good and that he trusts us and stuff. But the first step with that is taking away his mommy, because he is quite a mama's boy. And I think it's going to be a loud couple days here when we separate them. But he's going to go in and be besties with Roxanne, who is our new little Jenny. And honestly, I think they're just kind of the same donkey. She's kind of a donkey dog, and he's definitely a puppy donk. So I think it's going to be a really fitting friendship. So we're going to measure him, and we're going to weigh him, and we're going to see how far he's come in 8 months. So from 10 pounds to whatever, and 16 inches to whatever he is. So I can't wait to see how big he's gotten. For a super accurate height measurement, we put him over here on this concrete that is level, because, like the dirt and stuff is kind of like usually not super level. And Josh gets the job of holding him still because he thinks the concrete's going to eat him. So you always go to the very last bit of his mane, and he's pretty floofy. So this is going to go down into his hair, and we are going to measure how tall he is. Stop it, Rocky. We gotta get the bubble correct. Right there. Okay. So he is a little over 27 inches with my very smudged nail polish nail. I blame Rocky. So he's a little over 27 inches, which is a little over 69 centimeters tall. So he went from 16 inches to 27 inches in 8 months. So he is definitely getting some height, but he is still an itty bitty fella. Now we gotta weigh him, which is going to be like an entire thing, getting him on the scale. You might just have to pick him up and put him on it.
Probably.
Okay, so let's see how much little dude weighs.
So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna weigh myself so y'all get to see how big I am. And then I'm gonna hold Rocky because I tried putting him on there and he didn't like it. So we're gonna weigh myself first. Right at about 240 on the dot.
Whoa, whoa, you're all right.
336.
So he's a little less than 100
pounds. 96.
96, yep. He didn't like it, and I don't think Josh did either.
Yeah, I need a chiropractic adjustment after this.
So it's official. Henry weighs more than Rocky.
Oh, Rocky.
Rocky's like, get me away from the scale. He's so scared. He's like, I need my mom, I need some milk, and I need away from the scale. I do not like it. That's the one thing he's like super scared of. He did not like the scale at all. I think it's because it's loud, and honestly, it's not something that he's been used to. So, you know, he's like, it's clearly going to eat me. All right, one of the things that Rocky is going to learn how to do, and we were going to start working with him very often since he is going to be a pet, and that is standing tied and learning how to, you know, be on a halter without pulling really hard. He's never left his mother, and honestly, I've coddled him as a young donkey because of his situation. I think it's made us a little bit lenient on him just because of everything that he went through. Now, this is a quick release knot. All I have to do is jerk this in and he's free. So if anything crazy happens, Buzz is here supervising, don't y'all worry. But this is part of like getting him ready to give him a bath. So as long as he stands loosely and not pulling, it's fine. We're gonna call this Rocky's thinking post. I'm going to groom him. This is gonna start being like probably a daily thing because he has to learn, okay? And some people think that it's probably mean. And you know what? That's your opinion, but it's wrong. Because frankly, when he does get bigger and older, we want him to be able to be handled very easily, especially since, you know, he's going to be strictly a pet and I would like him to have a use. Maybe we'll teach him to drive a cart. Could you imagine that? Driving Rocky around our farm? That'd be hilarious. If you teach your dog how to walk on a leash, he's gonna get taught to walk on a halter better. He's not great. Mostly he's used to following his mom. So when we come out with the farrier, I can tie him to a post and let the farrier trim him, right? So these are all things that he needs to learn to be a good citizen. It's just part of life for Rocky. And he's no longer the itty bitty tiny baby that he once was. And part of that is, you know, standing right here, getting brushed, getting loved on. He's gonna test it, he's gonna pull, and then he's gonna learn that it's just not worth it. It's a lot of effort for not any reward at all. But we're just gonna brush him because he's shedding quite a bit. But this is step one to getting Rocky ready for a bath. Because I can't physically hold him and bathe him and everything all at the same time. So after he learns to stand to be tied very well, next up will be like introducing water, introducing, you know, the hose and different stuff like that to be able to give him a bath. And we're not leaving him out here for days or anything. We're gonna leave him out here for 15, 20 minutes at a time while he learns. Buzz is gonna be here for encouragement. Y'all don't worry. So while Rocky is dealing with his thinking posts and learning how to tie and looking at the goats that he's seen every day of his life, we're gonna talk about his birth story. So Mr. Rocky, his mom is Miss Mamma Mia, who we've affectionately named that because we were just calling her Mama, and we have a lot of mamas on this farm. So Miss Mama, I thought she was going to foal for quite some time, and you know, we'd had her under full watch and different things like that. But to be honest with you, he was a complete surprise to us when he was born. We were getting ready to leave to go have lunch, and I pull up the camera. I didn't know if she needed hay or not. So the easy way to do that is to pull up the cameras that are in the stall and look and see if she has hay to know if I have to walk out and do that. And this is right after I like really hurt my my ankle last year, and I see this teeny tiny white blob on the ground because she had literally just given birth to him. And I literally was like, oh my gosh, Josh. I literally came running out of the house with my bad ankle and all, flying out of the house, you know, trying to get out there as fast as I could, because I'm like, what in the world? I couldn't even believe she foaled. And Josh was like, Elena, slow down, you're gonna hurt yourself. I literally picked him up with one hand and sat him, Josh grabbed a towel, we put him on a towel, and literally we were both like, I don't know how this thing is even alive, to be honest with you. He was so small. He was smaller than my cat. Like, it felt like I was holding a loaf of bread when he was born. And honestly, like, Josh called the vet within like 30 seconds of us running out there. He's like, we gotta call the vet, this thing was crazy small. And so we called the vet came immediately. The vet was probably in our house in about 45 minutes. And at that time we had kind of dried him up and he was kind of trying to stand on his own. And honestly, the vet checked him out completely, head to toe, his heart, because we were worried about his heart not being developed fully, everything. The only thing that was wrong with him was his legs were super lax, meaning they were going like the opposite direction that they were supposed to be going. And the vet was like, this is the smallest equine I've ever seen born alive. And honestly, so he checked mama's milk. Everything was perfect. Everything was great. And he's like, you know, I mean, honestly, you're just going to have to keep standing him up, and then if he'll nurse. And boy, did he want to nurse. I syringe fed him colostrum, because the colostrum was so thick it like was getting stuck in the bottle. So we just decided to do a syringe, and he sucked syringes of milk down. And then after about the first day was over and the colostrum was gone and her milk turned to regular milk, we put it in a bottle. And I was milking that donkey every 2 hours and feeding him, and while he couldn't stand. And then eventually, after about the first about a little after the first day, I was starting to stand him up to nurse on his own. And he started nursing on his own with some help. I would like support his belly and he would suckle on his mom, and then you could see his legs would get tired and he would slowly start to like fall down, in which case I would support him and milk her out the rest of the way and feed him everything else that he wanted, because his legs were just not strong enough. I think after we looked at it, it was like 56 straight hours that we did that before he could stand on his own. And to be honest with you, it was one of those things that at the beginning I was like, if this little dude has no will, then like we're kind of out of luck, you know? But this little dude had more fight and everything in him than any donkey I've ever seen in my life. He wanted to nurse, he wanted to stand, he was willing, he had such a will to live. And I'm like, well, as long as you're out here and you're willing to nurse and you're willing to do everything, we're going to stand right with you and help you as best we can. And hopefully we can get out of this situation and you become strong and you become able to have a normal life, right? And it's one of those things where here we are. He's now 8 months old. So everything that we did, I mean, we stalled him for an extra long time because he was literally so small. I was scared even like a hawk would pick him up. He was so tiny. I think, like I said, he did not grow very fast at all. He was just so delayed, which is why we delayed his weaning. Usually I wean the donkey is about 6 to 7 months old. He's now 8 months old. He just has been delayed by like a month or two overall from his birth. So that's why we waited longer to wean him. But he's definitely ready to be weaned. I think him and Roxanne are going to go along so well. And honestly, I want to work with him more, and we're going to have to wean him to do that because he is such a mama's boy. And honestly, he'll be able to see her through the fence, but they just like, you know, he won't be able to nurse and stuff. He needs to learn to be a big boy, because honestly, he's been the one that I will not lie, I've been the worst about like his stuff, because to me he's just baby Rocky. Oh, he's just baby Rocky, you know. But now he needs to grow up and learn to be a big adult donkey. Eventually, he will be gelded. He is going to lose his family jewels. I had a lot of people asking why that was. Like, why would you geld him? He's so small. He's this and that. His feet and stuff were not formed correctly either. He's been seeing a farrier. Man, he's seen a farrier probably 6 times in his first 2 to 3 months of life. like every 4 weeks or so is what schedule he was on, sometimes 3 weeks if they were getting out of hand. His feet are finally straightening out. We're so happy with how they look now. And honestly, he's just special, and he's just going to be a pet. And honestly, with how much that Josh and I did with him and how much we've, we love him, right? So he's kind of like our dog, honestly, at this point. Like, he's so spoiled rotten. He does not have good manners, and I will admit that. I'm not lying to anybody. He's honestly terrible. He is so ornery. My cousin that helps us feed, he dislikes him so much because he's bad. He will sneak up behind people and get you from behind and then turn around and run away because I truly think he thinks it's funny. And he knows what he's doing. But no, he will not be a jack. He will be a gelding. He will be a pet. And that's all. Because honestly, that's just not something that we want to promote. He was such a fluke thing, and I couldn't deal with a situation like that. Again, hardly. I would if I had to, but I'm just saying that it was such an extremely touch and go. We didn't know if he was going to make it. And honestly, I only want 2 jacks at the moment because that's enough testosterone for me. So he's gonna lose those little bits when he gets about a year old. So I hope you guys enjoyed the footage of him when he was first born. I really think his story is really incredible with how small he was and how he persevered and came through. But like I said, I've never seen a donkey, and that's why his name's Rocky, with so much fight in him to survive. It's a perfect fitting name. He's been a fighter since the beginning, and he still is. I mean, honestly, if you could get away from your mother for 5 seconds, he is such a mama's boy, though. I'm excited to see him blossom now that we're weaning him. Anyways, so I hope you guys enjoyed Mr. Rocky's throwback, enjoyed reminiscing with me about him and how far he's come on his little journey, and I can't wait to see what the next 8 months brings us with Mr. Rocky. But yeah, he's a good, sweet boy, but it's time for him to get away from his mama and start being a big boy. What are you mad about? He's like, I'm mad that I'm still standing on this post. But we're just going to finish brushing him out, shutting him out, giving him some lovin's, and then he's going to go in and meet Miss Roxy. All right, so Rocky's been standing here for about 15 minutes, and he's given up the fight with the post. He has learned to stand nicely, which is excellent. Now, there's been a lot of distractions, cats and goats and grass, and he'll have this little tissy, but it's nothing like he was doing. Josh said he put the post in himself, and he knows it's not going to come out. But see how he'll pull a little bit, and then he'll go back until the line is slack and stand nicely. Well, I was talking you up about how good you were. Now I walk over here, and you're going to be ornery again. Well, he's going to try one more time to pull the post out that way. But you notice how he always comes back slack now? That's what we're looking for. We're wanting him to stand here nicely like a good citizen. And I've stood here and watched him the entire time. He's not going to hurt himself. But this is a manner that he 100% needs to learn. So now we're going to take him and put him with Roxanne and all the other weanlings to learn to live an independent life from his mother. So, time to grow up, Rocky. But I think he's going to walk even better now. Follow me. Look at that. We've learned some manners by the thinking post. He thinks he's also going back in with his mom, which sadly he is not. But look at this. This is being such a good boy. He's leading 1,000,000 times better now. All right, you're going to get your friends. You're going to go out here with Lainey and Patsy and Duke and Roxanne. All right, so Rocky's going to come out here, and I knew he would like Miss Roxanne. But these are all the other weanlings from this year. A few are going to their new homes very soon. Miss Roxanne is obviously here to stay, but he's probably going to go over there and stand and yell for his mom. But that's okay. He can see her. He just can't nurse on her. Yes, I know. I know it's time to be a big boy. Roxanne, you be nice to him. Are you clacking? It's like the first donkey I've ever seen clack, which means I'm a baby, don't hurt me. You know these guys. You were out with them. Duke will finally have another boy to play with. Lainey, you love Lainey, except it doesn't appear that way. See what I mean? He's just a menace to society, and he's ready to be weaned. What are you doing? I'm not sure she wants to play with you right now. So this is how donkeys play. Now we're gonna go feed them, you know, so they can have like, you know, bond over a nice meal. And he's just gonna have to deal with the fact his mom is not with him right now, which I think he's got friends. He knows these guys. They've all been where he is now. You know, hopefully they'll offer him some comfort. Well, she said no. No means no, Rocky. You leave her alone. And hopefully he doesn't think about the fact his mom's not here. All right, so Mr. Rocky, it's not like he's never been in this pasture before. This is where he literally grew up. And he will be able to eat with all of his weanling friends. Look at this, he's eating without his mom. That's his mom yelling for him. No, you don't get the bucket. You gotta eat here with your girl. Oh, Roxanne. No, we're not having that attitude. I'm gonna run you off if you're mean. I'm gonna run you off if you're mean. You don't get to have Tude. He'll give you Tude right back. I don't know who's meaner, Rocky or Roxanne. I think they're gonna be a match made in heaven, or they're gonna absolutely hate each other. It's one of the two. So anyways, Roxy's weaned. Rocky is now weaned. He's gonna grow up. He's gonna be a big boy. He's gonna be just fine, but he's gotta leave his mama. Now he's gonna go yell at his mama. It's okay. All right, so Rocky's here, and here's his mama, Miss Mama Mia. She can see him through the fence. They can see each other, but he can no longer nurse on her. This is the way that I have weaned pretty much all my donkeys. I let them still see their mom. They just can't nurse on their mom. So he'll gradually become more and more independent. Will they stand here beside each other for the next couple days? Yeah, probably, but you'll gently see her go with her herd, and you'll start to see him go with his small group, and eventually he'll just become way more independent. Like the other ones, they're not over here with their moms anymore, but he's probably going to be for a little while. But he went and ate with his friends. She went and ate with her girls. They'll be fine. We're supposed to have nice weather the next couple days. Josh and I are both off this whole weekend, which is why we're doing this now, so we can watch him throughout the next couple days and make sure everything stays okay. But yeah, big day for you, sir. Big day. I hope you guys enjoyed that. The first step with Rocky getting a bath is actually weaning Rocky and then working with him very consistently to make him a good citizen. And unfortunately, part of that is just weaning him. He's got to get away from his mama. So I hope you guys enjoyed that and enjoy following his journey. This is going to be like Rocky's first part, and then we're going to lead up to training him to do different things, and then hopefully bath time, because I just didn't want to cold turkey bath time him and make it stressful and a bad experience. So this is just the first part of Mr. Rocky's journey, which started with him getting weaned and him starting to learn to stand tied. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Make sure you subscribe to our channel so you can stay up to date with what we're doing with Mr. Rocky and all the other animals on our farm. We're really excited to share everything with you, and we hope you guys follow along.